Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday's Live. I have a special guest today and we are going to be talking about the upcoming Miss Popular versus Miss Profitable Summit. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anita Wong and welcome to my live stream. It's being powered by Restream.io and I'm live streaming to YouTube, LinkedIn, my Facebook business page and a couple of my private Facebook groups. So do jump into the comments and say hello. And if you have any questions, please pop in the comments and we will get to them at the end. So I'd like to introduce to you who is Head of Influencer Marketing at Restream. Say hi to everyone and introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, Anita. And yeah, like you mentioned, my name is Anya. I oversee Restream's partnerships, and I also, aside from working with opinion leaders on promoting live streaming and kind of enrolling people into live streaming movement, I also oversee all of our live content and host a couple of live shows myself. So I'm pretty much in tune with what live streaming is today and happy to share it with others.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And welcome to my weekly show. So I wanted to talk to you, first of all, a little bit about perhaps a quick intro into what some of the biggest mistakes people make when they're live streaming before we jump into talking about your talk for the summit tomorrow, because we're going to be live streaming the summit all day tomorrow. Can you give us a little update into what you think are the biggest mistakes people make when they're live streaming?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the number one biggest mistake that a lot of people are making is not going live at all, right? Like, so it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but a lot of people get very intimidated and I guess concerned about how this is going to all work out. They think that they need some kind of special skills, some kind of crazy abilities to be wonderful on camera, editing skills. They have to invest a lot of money and time into building a studio. So there are all of these misconceptions that eventually just kind of inevitably make people conclude that, okay, this is not something that I can handle. This is too much. I would say this is not necessarily the case. If you're looking around to start your live shows, there are lots of tools that allow you to go live easily. And if you think about live streaming as a marketing tool, which is kind of like a nice segue into what my talk is going to be about tomorrow. I'm going to show you how you can start pretty easily without investing too much and without that being a huge drag on your time. Other than that, the most common one that I see among people who are already streaming is probably I would separate them into two sections. One is like technology-wise mistakes. So tech mistakes include not prioritizing audio over video, kind of like worrying too much about your camera and not realizing that your sound is not good at all. And also, I think it's very important to kind of focus when you have your content plan in works, right? Like, so people will tolerate a lot of things like, not perfect audio, not perfect video if you're delivering value. So thinking through your content and making sure you build this engaging stream around something that is very relevant to your community is the number one thing that I would go after.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people get really, really held up by not having thinking that they don't have the right equipment. But I mean, I've been live streaming for 3 or 4 years and I've been doing it with a webcam. So it's not like you need to have a digital camera. That's like the next level up. But like you say, definitely a really good standard mic so that people can hear you, and definitely some good lighting so that people can see you. And always put the captions on after. So, like when you're repurposing your live stream, because one of the best things about live streaming is that number one, it's natural and people can just be themselves. And number two, there's no editing. So, you just really get on with it, just jump in and really connect with your audience, which is super awesome, which is, really, really good. So Miss Profitable versus Miss Popular, or the other way around, is all about, making the most of those connections that we have with the audience that we've got. And you kindly agreed to come in and do the talk and also sponsor the event. So tell me a little bit about your talk. You've named it Why Live Streaming is Your Number One Marketing Tool of 2021. So maybe you can give us a little bit of insight into the talk. And whilst Anya's doing that, I'm going to drop the link underneath just to let you know how to sign up. And also wanted to say hello to Jason, who's streaming in, watching us from Utah. There's a few shy ones out there that aren't being very vocal on the comments. So do feel free to let us know where you're coming in from. And if you have any questions, do pop them in the comments so that we do them as we go through the process. So far away, Anya, let's have a little bit of insight into your amazing talk that you've got planned for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's a great opportunity. First of all, with the nature of the summit, I am extremely thrilled to be part of that women empowerment and women entrepreneurship community. That the whole summit is basically based on female leaders, right? Like people who are coming from different backgrounds and different industries to share their experience and expertise in what they were able to accomplish. So this just feels extremely inspiring to be part of that, and I'm super grateful for the invitation. So my talk is going to be why live streaming is your number one marketing tool of 2021, as you mentioned. So what I'm trying to hopefully quickly convey to the audience is that live streaming today is not something geeky or kind of like extraordinary that you maybe need to look into. It is becoming kind of like a go-to solution if you are trying to connect with your audience and if you are trying to drive sales and build relationships with your network and community. So I am going to cover just a couple of examples of how live video marketing can work, some forms and some kind of like use cases, right? Because a lot of people might be slightly confused about what video marketing could be, right? Like there's so many different ways it comes in. So we're going to cover all those. I also like to share case studies. So I think that practical examples of other people, businesses is something that people really want to hear, because then they can get into that aha moment and realize that, okay, this could be me. Like I could use it in exactly the same way and I could succeed in that as well. So I'm going to give 3 examples of small business owners, how they're using live streaming, marketing agency, and also a tech company, which is going to be us, Restream. So because it's just very easy for us to show the results of something that we are very, very aware of. We'll also talk a little bit about repurposing and why live streaming could give you a good return on investment, right? Because when you think about dedicating time and effort into creating a live stream, an important part is to know that this is not where your work ends and this is not where your value ends. There's a lot of things that you can do with that content after the live stream is over that will continue driving attention, engagement, potentially sales and conversions to your product or service. And I will also talk a little bit about how you could amplify your reach and your live streaming strategy by partnering with influencers and opinion leaders in your space. So this is something that I definitely have quite a bit of expertise in as an influencer marketing lead at Restream. So I'm going to show you what works for us in terms of engaging other people who are content creators out there, to partner with them and to empower them to promote what we are offering, our services and our products. And I think this is very relatable to anyone who offers any kind of product or service, no matter if you're a big tech company, a huge corporation, or a small lifestyle coach. There's always an opportunity for you to collaborate with others and offer your narrative to the communities through those partnerships. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Wow, it's amazing. It's going to be absolutely awesome. There's so much content in there, and I'm really, really excited about that. I mean, it's so important. I feel that the whole getting out there and putting yourself on camera is super important. And I actually prefer to live stream than to pre-record video, because I just think that it's more natural, and you can have this Q&A that people can join you from absolutely everywhere, and it's real time, and you can open the floor to questions and things like that. So that's really good. Thank you, Anya, for that. And it's amazing. So tomorrow in the conference, we're actually going to be live streaming the whole of the session tomorrow. So everyone is going to be live streaming, and we have some amazing speakers tomorrow. I'm actually doing a talk as well on live streaming, on how to grow your business using live streaming from a small business perspective, and what you can do, like some of the mistakes that people make when they go to actually prepare their live streams, like, first of all, the fact that, a lot of people don't actually attempt the live stream because they don't have the confidence to do so. So we're going to be talking about those sorts of things. And then actually when you go live, how can you actually optimize that video after you've gone live? Because so many people forget about the optimization after, and they forget about going in and actually talking in the past tense in the description to actually update that and things like that. So that's super, super exciting. So if you're out there and you're watching this video, please do go to the link, which is Miss Popular versus Miss Profitable, and sign up for the summit. It's running for 2 days, and you can have the access to the content until the 31st of January. And then after that date, if you want to upgrade now to a VIP ticket, you can actually have lifetime access to that content, so you can actually watch some of the amazing speakers. We've got an absolutely full crammed schedule of 15 plus speakers that are going to be absolutely amazing over the next couple of days, which is, you know, really, really good. So Anya, have you got any quick tips on like say like one big tip for 2021 when it comes to live streaming? What do you think is going to happen?
Oh gosh, well, 2021, like who knows how it's going to turn out, right? Like there's so many unknowns and variables in this year that are compared to 2020. We are, of course, very hopeful that things will be different, that the health crisis is going to go away. We're very looking forward to this. But I think what's important is that to understand that live streaming as an opportunity to connect with your community worldwide is probably here to stay, because now at this point, people are so in tune with virtual content. Many of them already invested in some kind of gear and equipment. They kind of already launched their live shows and series. So I think the market is going to be more and more competitive. The content that is produced live is going to be appearing all over the place, more and more platforms. They're kind of like jumping on that live streaming train, which is always very exciting to see. So I think in order to stay competitive, you kind of need to start thinking about what is your unique value proposition, what is special about you and your content. And other than that, I actually remembered another, I guess, live streaming tip / things that people sometimes get wrong. I think it's very important to remember the internet connection is kind of like your one big limitation or empowerment, right? When you think about live streaming. So a lot of people who have difficult experiences and don't necessarily succeed with live streaming, actually, the reason for that is not stable internet connection. So if I would make a resolution for folks in 2021, I would say check your provider, see if you have a good connection. Probably cable yourself, wire internet right into your computer so you're not Wi-Fi dependent, because those kind of fluctuate a little bit. And then figure it out, what's your niche and what's your unique value proposition. And that's going to put you in a very special place when it comes to building your live streaming strategy.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. It's super important to have really good internet. And I think at the moment, because lots of people are working from home, they've suddenly realized that that's actually one of the things that they don't have very good connection with. And another thing that you mentioned, which was really good, is like finding your uniqueness. And that sort of relates to my pineapple in the background, because for those of you that have joined me weekly, you know that I talk about finding your unique pineapple essence, and that really makes you stand out. So there could be 5 live streamers going on at the same time, but you are the person that is going to make it unique. So you bring your essence to the table and you share what you believe is your main points. And once you start to share that, the audience that you are attracting will definitely come running towards you and then come back for more. And just make an effort over the next couple of months, if you're new to live streaming, to try out different times of the day as well, and different times of the week, and see when you get more views, you know, when people are connecting with you. And remember that live streaming is international, so you can actually, you know, go worldwide. I know that Anya's in Central America, I'm in the UK, so different time zones. So try out all the time zones and work out what fits best with the target audience that you're actually trying to attract, because I think that's really key. And don't be scared of actually going on and not having anyone watching at the beginning, because actually what happens is that you start to build up that visibility, and 90%, 80% of the times you go live, people will watch the replay. So keep it, you know, try and have some little post-its around so that you can keep on track, or like I've got my iPad with some notes on just to keep referring to it. And because it's live, people don't mind your eyes wandering and doing things and opening different things up, because that's the nature of live. It's like they know that you're multitasking, which is awesome. So thank you so much, Anya, for joining me today. I know that you've got a really super busy day today ahead of just the rest of the week, and then also getting ready for tomorrow. So I'd like to just invite everybody, if you haven't signed up already for the summit, please do go to the link, and the link is actually in the description of this video as well. Go over there and sign up, and tune in tomorrow and Friday for the summit. And if you want to treat yourself, because we're all VIPs nowadays, treat yourself to that VIP ticket as well. Thank you so much, Anya. Do you have any closing words?
No, no, really. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the summit. There are lots of great speakers, lots of knowledge bombs are going to be dropped. It's also, think about that as an opportunity to network, because most of us, after the end of our sessions, are extremely welcoming and connecting with people who participated, who attended. So that's an opportunity for you to connect with people who brought some value, who shared something that's interesting to you or is very relevant to your business. So yeah, definitely come on in, show up, and hang out with us. We have a great program for you, and I can't wait to share everything I learned from my live streaming experience with you.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. And also, I think we're doing a little, if you're an iPhone user, I know this sort of this does exclude quite a few, but if you're an iPhone user and you have a Clubhouse, if you're in Clubhouse, we are going to be hosting a room on the Friday afternoon as a bit of a speaker's corner, so that if you want to come in and join us and ask questions about any of the talks that you've seen, if the speaker's not there, then the rest of us can hopefully help you out as well. So do feel free to join that. Your next, just quickly got a question. I'm so glad you bothered about your eyes wandering. Sometimes I make little notes to keep me on point. Yeah, absolutely. You do. You know, you need to have that focus. And you know, I've got my iPad here. My camera's up there. My screen is just a little bit lower. Just as possible to make sure that your gaze goes back to once you finish doing what you're doing, so that you're always speaking into the camera. And one of the tips that I have, just to finish off, is I always imagine that my best friend is standing the other side of the camera and I'm having a because then what happens is that you raise the energy in the room and people really can connect with you. So thank you so much, Anya, for joining me today, and thank you everyone that's joined me in the comments. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day, Anya. Thank you so much. Bye everybody.
Absolutely.